Hello, hello, hello. Hello, one and all, short and tall, big and small. I'm so honored that you are choosing to spend time with Amina from Kingston, Jamaica. And so she walk, she powder. And if she talk, she powder. This little girl from Anatobe, this little girl from Anatobe. Everybody know a little girl like that. Or think them know a little girl like that. Everybody call them vain. And say all them do is think about how them look. And everything them do, them want a little powder in. La 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 la. La 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 la. Well, there was a little girl like this in one certain district. But in that district, nothing was going on much. People couldn't find jobs. You know, the things that make the world go round, them say. None of that was going on. And then one day, a woman who lived in the village decided that she would stop complaining and she would do something about it. And so she decided that she was going to set up a business, and this business was going to be a source of employment for everybody in the village, especially the women. But she also announced that she needed to find a partner for her business. And when she found the right partner for her business, she would break ground for the business. So she sent out the announcement. She make an advertisement that she was looking for a partner for her business. But she had a special way that she was going to choose who was the right partner for her business. She put up a big mirror in the town square. And she said, anybody who could just walk up to that mirror and look in the mirror and do not blink would be the best partner for her business. Well, all the women in the district who had gone to big universities and had their PhDs and their MBAs dressed up, some of them even went to the little girl to borrow some of our powder in them. Powder up them face, man. And one by one, they walked with such great and tremendous and mighty confidence. But they didn't get all the way to the mirror in the town square. Just when they could begin to see themselves in the mirror, they turned around and declared, I changed my mind. I don't really want to be anybody's business partner. Day after day, this is what happened until all the women with their PhDs and their MBAs and their big education had been exhausted. And then all the women who delighted in brand name clothes, dressed up in this brand and that brand, and went to the same little girl and borrowed some of our powdering. The little girl from Anatobe, everybody looking for her. Girl from Anatobe, so they could get some of our powdering, and they powder up, and one by one, they walked down as if they were walking along a runway, yes, ready to be models of all the brand name clothes that they were wearing. And one by one, just when the mirror was in view, they turned around and said, I changed my mind. I don't really want to be anybody's business partner. Until the lady who had advertised for a business partner got a big, the old-time chest, got a big old-time chest and put it right next to the mirror and declared that in that chest she had some mines and anybody who wanted to change their mind could go into the box and see if they found a mind that was suitable for them, and then they could always change their mind and look into the mirror. But as you might guess, as they walked down to the mirror, and as the chest of mind was inside them, say, I changed my mind. And I don't see any mind in that box that I want. What I want is not really to be anybody's business partner. And this went on for many days, until the girls who thought they were the most beautiful, the most beautiful, but they had to go to the little girl and borrow some of her powdering. The little girl from Manitoba, and she was very kind, she was generous, and everybody who come to beg her some of her powdering, she gave it to them with a good heart, with a decent mind. But you know what happened? As soon as they got near that magic mirror in the center of the town square, I changed my mind. I don't really want to be anybody's business partner. Until all the women in the village had been exhausted, and the only person that was left was this little girl. The little girl from Manitoba, the little girl from Manitoba. She never had any MBA, she never had any PhD, she never had any fancy clothes, she never had anything with any brand name. She just had on her ordinary clothes, and she decided that she also wanted something better for herself, and she was going to answer the lady's advertisement for a business partner. You can imagine the morning when she was walking down the mirror, all the PhDs and the MBAs and the fancy clothes and the brand name came out, and they were having the time of their lives, laughing at this. A little girl from Manitoba, the little girl from Manitoba. And she walked with grace and courage, and she didn't have to look in that chest, because she wasn't going to change her mind. She had her own mind, and she faced that mirror, and she looked in the mirror. She looked at her face in the mirror. She looked at her clothes in the mirror, although it did kind of tear up, and the magic mirror didn't do anything to make it look any way different. And she turned around and she modeled in that mirror, and when she had had her fill of looking in that mirror, she turned around and she went home. This little girl from Manitoba. And then one day, the woman who had the idea of setting up a business to better the conditions of life in the village for everybody, especially the women, sent out an invitation that she had selected her business partner. And true to her word, she was now going to break ground for the place on which her business would stand. And she wanted everybody to come to be introduced to her business partner. What a gossiping, and everybody started whispering and started speculating as to who this woman would have chosen, because all who thought they would have been chosen, they done change their mind. And the woman came out, and in the middle of the groundbreaking ceremony, guess who she called? The little girl from Manitoba, the little girl from Manitoba, who everybody say she just vain and she good for nothing, and all she do morning, noon and night is powder her face. The little girl from Manitoba. And so she walk, she powder, and as she talk, she powder. So them a go on, man, and I whisper off about how the woman mean to choose this little girl. Well, when it was time for the woman to announce why she had chosen the girl, she said, honestly, there was nothing magical about that mirror. That was just a plain, ordinary mirror. But I put that mirror there because I wanted a partner who was honest enough and brave enough and courageous enough to face themselves and face what them see. And this girl passed the test. She's not afraid of herself. All the mirror can show is what really is in your heart. And so that little girl became the business partner of that woman who decided to do something on behalf of her village. Maybe you should be like that little girl and have the courage to face yourself. The little girl from Manitoba, the little girl from Manitoba. And so she walked, she powder. Now she a powder. She talk, she a powder. She in a church, she powder. And when she eat, she powder. The little girl from Manitoba, the little girl from Manitoba. And so she walk, she powder. Anything she do, she powder. La 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 la.
This.
Arriba to the banco,
This.
arriba to the banco.
This.
One did they cover, let take him, put him down the alley.
Aye. This.
Arriba to the banco,
This.
arriba to the banco.
This.
No, did they cover, let
This.
one did they cover, let take him, put him down the alley.
This.
Arriba to the banco,
This.
arriba to the banco.
This.
No, did they cover, let
This.
no, did they cover, let
This.
one did they cover, let take him, put him down the alley.
This.
Arriba to the banco,
This.
arriba to the banco.
This.
No, did they cover, let
This.
no, did they cover, let
This.
no, did they cover, let
Arriva to the banco. Arriva to the banco.
no, did they cover, let no, did they cover, let no, did they cover, let
Arriva